Yeah, back now to have a look at Hawkesbury, and a big welcome to Alex Donnelly from punters.com.au. Alex, the first time we've worked together, you told me before the show that Hawkesbury was north of Sydney. It's basically direct west. Thanks for that.
Yeah, really doing my geography well, having lived in Sydney for 16 years. It shows how often I've actually been out there. I think I've been there once, so...
And you won a Hawkesbury Cup.
Yes, my old man with quick flick. I think it might have been 1996 or 97. He won the Hawkesbury Gold Cup. Paul Ambrosoli called it. I just remember listening to it a bunch of times as a child.
What year were you born?
1991.
I was going to say, I thought it might have been a celebration.
Did you say you were born in 1991?
Yeah.
Oh, I retired. Oh, that's shocking. Let's find out the winner of the Hawkesbury Cup, shall we, if we can. Over the 1,600 metres, Group 3 level. It's sort of a bit of a comeback down to earth, I reckon, this race.
Time.
Yeah, it is.
With a
from where we've been.
Wow. Giga kicking the all-age into floating artist on the way back from the Melbourne Cup.
If I said to you, floating artist has started 4 times over a mile and won 3 of them, would you believe me?
Probably, yeah. Given the way he put that picket fence together before the 2021 Cup, he sort of just won everything bar the Coonji.
He's an interesting horse here. Second up off a decent break. Great first up run, but you often see that second up, like a game of footy, you play your first game back, feel great. Week 2, you're sore as a boil and you don't go too well.
And that day at Bendigo was also a little weird as well, so I don't know sort of how to trust the form coming out. Can definitely win, but as favourite, I don't want to be with him.
Well, let's have a look at what you like.
Yeah, pretty keen on new mandate here. James McDonald goes on. Really good form from Europe, and the 5 Diamonds form, he ran in that 1,800 metre race at Rose Hill in the spring. It's been a fantastic form race. There's been winners everywhere out of it. First up was in the Doncaster Prelude. He just blew out late. Barry trial since, and J-Mac jumped on in the trial, gave him a little squeeze late, found the line well. And I love when McDonald sort of sticks with these horses after the trials because he can just, jump all over the place. 2 wins at the mile, and I know Shark loves these Europeans in their second prep in Australia.
Absolutely. I think he's got a great chance. I've got him in second peg, but yeah, it's certainly give him a good hope.
Yeah, for second, I've got Hopeful. Was runner-up in this race last year, funnily enough, which was the first start in Australia, and since then only had another 2 runs. Won the Lord Mayor's Cup, and then was only beaten 4 lengths in the Q22. Good barrier trials leading in, moved well. This seems to be sort of a target again before following along the same prep and seemed decent odds. And I threw in Floating Artist for third. Just, I don't want it to win without me, but I don't want to be on it if that makes sense because he's too good not to have in, and he could just well go, yep, I'm going to start winning everything on the way up to the Hollandale.
Shark?
I've gone with Lord Ardmore. I don't know why. I just really didn't like anything in this race. This has got João Moreira on it from a good gate. He comes back down the handicap. I think that's a big key. He had 59.5 last time. He's got 54.5 this time. He was brave last time. Before that, in the Doncaster Prelude, he drew wide. He went back to last. He was actually okay through the line, and he finished on the heels of New Mandate, who I've got in for second. I've thrown Character number 15 in next best. This horse was running around in Toorak handicaps 12 months ago, and he wasn't going too badly. So I'm thinking he might be able to run a race at odds.
Okay, well, you're both off Floating Artist. I'm going to stick with Floating Artist on that form over a mile, and I understand what you're saying, but there's a touch of a lack of confidence here. My geography's gone, and so is probably my tipping about Lord Ardmore and Just Folk. I'd love to see Just Folk win. Just for the trainer. There's a bit of a story about Just Folk. A young trainer trying to make his name.
A bit more rain around will help going as well as soft 5 this morning, but there's meant to be rain all the way leading up because, well, it's Sydney in autumn.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's not heavy 10 like we've been racing on for 6 months in Sydney. The Hawkesbury Guineas, interesting race in itself. I think there's one here, Hawaii 5-0. I just think actually it's a better horse than them.
Okay.
Well, it's in my numbers. I think it's just about ready to win, and it's whether it's sort of the horse on the way up as opposed to the horses like Cote and Fortune Teller who have been out and whacking around for a bit.
Well, I haven't got either of them in. I've got Atmosphere on top. I thought the 2 runs this time in were really good. Rolled down in the South Pacific by Rosita, but form was really good last time in once it got onto dry decks, got run down by Magic Time over the Flemington Carnival. A dry deck, hopefully not a heavy 10 is a tick here, and about $12, $13. Pretty happy to be on each way. I've got the Fortune Teller in for second. Off that sloggy mile run back to 1,400 with the top weight, bit of a risk. And Cote, good run in the Arrowfield. The Derby Munro one was even better, and on a dry deck up to 1,400 suits.
Shark?
I got Cote on top. If they were stuck, he jumped so well, they were stuck leading last time, and he had to do some work early. I like him better when he's ridden cold and allowed to finish off. I think they'll do that this time around. To beat the Fortune Teller, look, last night, group winner, that's a good standard for a race like this. And Hawaii 5-0, Simon, your top pick. I think she's in there with a super chance.
They're all around those same numbers, 7, 2 and 1 for me. Cote in second and the Fortune Teller in third. Okay, our value and best bets at Hawkesbury, Alex?
Best bet comes up in race number 5, number 2 Fire for Team Hawks. Way out of his grade last start, ran in the Lightning, but wasn't horrible there. Comes well back to a 78 here. 1,100 metres, much more suitable. You go back through his form last time in. Started odds on against Chain of Lightning down the Flemington Straight. The trial since was fantastic, and his SP profile is awesome, and we're getting $4. Have to be on him at the price. For a value, coming up in the last, and with number 5 Wicklow, same colours as last week's value from Maddie, should have gone close to winning first up. Second up gets Nash on board, 2 wins second up and a third from 3 starts. And after this, he's probably going to go to the Wagga Cup because Richard Peagam owns him and he loves winning a Wagga Cup.
It's a good form line, isn't it? It's
certainly
a good long-range tip. My best is race 6, number 2, Malkovich, gelded this time around. Fast horse, 2 trials. He's won them both really, really well. Hoping the big snip gets him back into winning form, and he's a nice price too. Value bet race 4, number 14, Demarque. Good first up run in Melbourne. Switches to Sydney, gets up in trip.
Trust Larkspur run, 4th run in as your value bet at Hawkesbury, and I think Fire. It's going to be a good day for the Hawkses as we head into winter. I think Fire can win for the Hawkses, and that's race 5, number 2. That's it from Hawkesbury. When we come back, we've got Sharks all up, and we've also got the quaddie if we can add the numbers up correctly.
If you're in love with racing, then you'll love the new betting brand for racing fans. With exclusive markets, promotions, insights and content. That's better. Chances are you're about to lose.